Oh, I'm live. Daily activations. Past life. Okay. Hey guys, I'm on again. As I said, doing a couple videos back to back. I've been out of commission for 2 weeks. Long story short, my spirit team, because I can talk and connect to my spiritual team, just in the last 2 weeks took me through some stuff that brought me low. So sometimes they give me lessons that are very intense, and this one was on spirit attachments. You can talk to different, talk to different beings. The thing is, when you open yourself up, some people, some beings want to attach to you. So I had to really. I spent the last. It took about 3 days last week, like learning, and they were taking me through the process. Trying different things and what actually worked. But finally got that done. Don't It was really hard and challenging, but I'm glad I did it because someone had emailed me, like I mentioned, right during the middle of it, and they had a spirit attachment. And so I'm like, is this happening? And I asked my angels, and the archangels replied, yes, this is happening right now. People are hopping rides. They are attaching, trying to bring everyone down low. So I'm glad I did it. I will go more into depth next week on what you can do if this ever happens to you. And it was good because people notice. They're like, it's something. I know something's there. And my thing is like, don't ignore that stuff. Like, right? All of a sudden bad things happen. You feel different. Like there's something, you're acting different. That does happen. And I'm going to go in depth. I'm going to show you exactly what I did and what you can do. So if it does happen to you, you're not going to be scared. Not everyone has taken the time to learn to channel and communicate with their higher spiritual team. So you can't ask, okay, what next? What do I do? Okay, you need to help me with this. What do I do next? And so if you know what I mean? If you don't have that help, this is going to be very, very, very scary. Like, I am very strong, and I was getting frustrated trying to figure out how to get this thing. I finally had to picture, I personally pictured like a lasso of like a big blanket of rope that sort of took it and lifted it off. And then I actually, because I'm actually going into it, but I'm going to go more into it in this other one. And I had to actually not just rip it off because that worked, but then they can come back because it's an attachment. I had to take it and I had to program this like bag that I took it in and program it and throw it like into a black hole. And I know that sounds crazy, but it works. And so if it happens to you, you're going to be very happy that I explained everything that happened. Okay. And not that it's necessarily going, don't worry about it. But when it happens. And then cleanse your energy off and cleanse it. And then you get to a place where they can't come back. And so they taught me that, worked through it. I had a lot of spiritual help. I actually apparently passed the test, which is pretty cool. It's like warrior training. So that was really cool to see. I got like a round of applause for my spirit team. But that's why I was out for 2 weeks, because the 3 days I was working with it, it was pretty lit. Like it took my whole focus. But then it took me a few days afterwards to go back up and bring my vibration back up. And I wasn't going to go on because, if you feel my energy now, it's cleansed, it's clear, and it's even at a higher level than it was before. But last week, it took me some time to come back from there was a feeling of helplessness for a moment. And like I said, I'm very aware when I'm going through tests and training. If you take the time to develop these channeling abilities, it'll happen to you. But you'll have this ability as well to communicate and like get help going through it, so you're not alone. But most people don't, so it can be really challenging. So I'm going to do a more in-depth video, everything I did. I actually learned a lot of defensive magic moves. You know what I mean? So that was really cool. Like, oh, don't mess with Lisa. Don't mess with me, like, because I was taking care of it. So don't get weirded out. Hopefully it doesn't happen to you. Keep your vibration high. Mine was let in because every year or so there's some like spiritual supernatural encounter I have. I'm actually going to do a video on it. I might do the video tonight. If you guys want to see it, let me know. I'll do it tonight. Otherwise I can hold off. But every year I have a pretty big supernatural encounter. Usually some sort of training or some sort of like, yep, that's us, we're your guides. And if you guys want to know, just let me just thumbs up or let me know, or mention if you want me to tell those stories, and I can do it tonight because those are sort of funny actually, and crazy. But when you start this process and you start to learn how to interact at a higher level, they send things to you because you need to learn how to grow and that you're more powerful than you are, but they're right there to help you. So I'll start with that. That's why it was a 2-week absence, and I will come back with more. Now, this video is about DNA activations in your past life, okay? And I'm going to talk about it from my experience, because all the healings I've done, especially with my ancestors and especially with Merlin and Oshun, they stepped forward because in your DNA, everything that you learned, okay, both good and bad, is stored in it, okay? It's like a big old microprocessing chip, but it's a living microprocessing chip. And so when I started doing these things with my ancestors or with the spirit of Merlin or with Oshun, what it was is that I did this in a past life. With Oshun, I was a high priestess. When I channeled on it, they said I helped bring in the spiritual and the divine into this life and teach other people how to do it. What am I doing now? In the past life, I worked with the Mayans and the serpent energy. And there is just deepening my power and ability to be a shaman. So I was a shaman in the Mayan life. And you can do past lives regression. You can do hypnosis. You can work with an angelic channeler like me, where I can take you and I can open up that portal so you can see into those past lives and know who and what you really are. So there are ways that you can do hypnosis. There are ways for you to find out your past life if that's what you want. And it does, for how much you learn, it's not that much money. It's maybe like $200 to $300 a session, which is just general for a professional session. And so all of you guys can learn this too if you want to take the time to do it. It was just very important for my spiritual growth for me to learn this. So if I hear about a new technique that can teach you about another aspect of my life, I'm always going to take it. So at this point, I talk about my past life so easily, but this is years of like really actively seeking out new things. And I have good instincts, so I know if some people are legit or not. I just do. So I would highly recommend it for all of you guys. And so, in the Mayan ones, when I worked with my ancestors and they were leading me through it, it was ancient Egyptian. I'm still out of my league. What do you mean by that? Give Hugs says he or she is still out of my league. Just let me know what you mean by that. So with the Mayan, honestly, all of you guys have this, right? Like you have within your DNA some past life, especially your ancient DNA. Because in ancient times, before we lost all this, when some of you were in Atlantis, I never saw myself in Atlantis. I've seen Egypt. I've seen Norse. Norway. I've seen myself in my Mayan. I've seen myself in the wizard one because I studied with Merlin. So I saw those lives in ancient times. But that's when you had the power. It's in the last 2,000 years. The powers that be, the evil ones, made us want to think that ghosts were fake, this was fake, you're not powerful, you don't have these gifts and ability, because then they can control us, because then we have to look for them and Western and physical solutions, and we're not looking for spiritual ones. That's very strategic. Good thing I don't listen to any of that stuff. I knew inside me that, I don't know, I just knew I was great. That I could do, like, that magic was real. I just knew it. And I don't care if you thought it was a game or not. I just knew manifesting was easy and I did it, and I knew magic was real and I do it, and I knew my body could heal itself. I don't care what Western medicine says. So all of us have all of this, especially from your ancient times. Okay, I'm just saying a prayer that this is protected, that only the people who are meant to see this see it, not people with nefarious purpose. So so I didn't realize that was going on. I just know, Merlin stepped forward and they said it was time. And Oshun stepped forward, said it was time. I had visions of myself as a Norse. So my different past life include, I was a Norse high priestess. When I got the vision, I was this tall white woman with blonde hair, very slender, like no boobs, white hair. I had like an antler like thing. I was with a king who happened to be like a soulmate, one of many soulmates I have, a soulmate of mine. And he's like, it looked sort of similar, honestly. I guess that blonde hair is like a thing with me. So, and that makes sense because they're really into the fates and string magic. So it's called cedar, is like Norway magic. They're really into strings. And I remember when I did like one like random string thing, like, to hold my intention, it worked really, really well. And so when I saw that vision, I was like, oh, That's what it was. It's in my DNA. That's why out of all those things I did, runes, it was this one that really resonated and just took off. But that goes back to that past life that's in my DNA when I was her doing all that work. Another past life that was activated was working with Oshun. I was an African priestess. I was a high priestess because, I asked how high was I? The highest. And so I did that work. And so when Oshun stepped forward, it wasn't like I was some random person. It was like, no, we're just activating what you already learned. And this is why it's so important. I don't have to learn it again. It's already in me. I just have to do the activation. It's like and so I learned so much about this going forward. It's like your body is a computer. And all these are different apps that you have that you could just turn on. And so I have across the screen going, don't let anyone alter your DNA. They call it junk DNA on purpose so you don't look into it and you think it's worthless. That's where your power is, sis. That's why that's where everything is. And so I'm telling you this because this is what I'm going through. Why all of a sudden I'm working with Merlin and all of a sudden like I light a candle and it like explodes in energy because he unlocked something that I did in a past life with him, working with him as they call it Merlinite, where I learned how to work with plants and the elements. And it's already there. I don't have to do the years of training. It's already there. I need to activate the app, activate the code. That's why. So say if, say it's the end of the world, right? December 21st, 2020. And then say there's some people who want to inject something in you very badly that has messenger RNA that tells your coding and cells what to do and can possibly alter your DNA. Spiritual warfare. And I know you guys are looking at me like I'm crazy, but I'm like, it's crazy you don't understand how powerful you are. Okay, that's crazy. Like you can't feel it inside you the way I felt it inside me. No one can tell me nothing. Like that's crazy to me. But yeah, just think about it. Oh, a never before seen thing where the messenger RNA, which decodes and tells your DNA and other things what to do, they really want to inject into you voluntarily because they can't do it by force because God would smack them down. So they have to do it through subterfuge or like, oh, it's for this reason when it's really that. So when I say don't let anyone get anywhere near your DNA, I'm explaining this so you understand how it impacts your spiritual gifts. And so if I were to let someone alter my DNA, that means my Norse magic. That means my Egyptian Kemet magic. That means my Mayan magic. That means my manifesting abilities, my magic, and all of that stuff. My healing abilities, right? So when I did the healing path in different lives, all of that can be tampered with and erased. So the life I live that has been one of me, like of ease and just going along the path and ascending and getting stronger and stronger, all those thousands of years, all of my ancestors' knowledge can be wiped away if you let someone alter that. Someone who's saying it, they're doing it for a different reason. But there's a reason. It's an mRNA, never before seen, December 21st, 2020, into the world. And all of a sudden, you've been hearing me talk about the spiritual warfare, but don't let people alter your DNA. Because when you don't, you can be like me. I was actually going to do a DNA activation. So if you guys want it, let me know. You can just activate yourself. You can just activate what's inside. You can just activate what's there and you don't have to do the work anymore. You can just activate thousands of years of the positive steps. So with my ancestral trauma clearing and my Akashic record clearing, you can clear all those items. And there's books on the Akashic records too, if you want to learn to do it, or you can contact someone like me or go to a different healer who has experience accessing the Akashic records. And, but between all of those, I've cleared the negative, but I'm activating all those other skills and abilities. So like in 4 years, the reason you can ascend so high is just because you just need to activate what's there. So Give Hug said, this is over my head. I'll keep quiet and listen. Found you from another YouTube channel. I'm a she. Okay, this is listening to me now. Yeah, Give Hugs. I go very deep. I'm just at a very deep level spiritually. And it's a beautiful level. Opportunities and abundance flows to you like, magma. So, but I don't take it easy anymore. I think I did in my earlier videos, but now it's like, look, this is who and what we are. You can accept the power that you can tap into, or you don't accept the power you can tap into. But this is in your DNA. Don't, like, how dare you let anyone alter that? How dare you? But the thing is, if I hadn't have gone through that, I did not know what all these DNA activations meant. I just know I was working with them every day, and they're like, this is what you need to do for the next on your ascension, the next on your journey. And I did it, and I was like, wow, all of a sudden, every time I did it, like every week or so, I'd have a newer and bigger gift and ability that was unlocked. I don't have to spend years and years in all these different schools. The North school, this school, that school. I didn't have to do all that stuff. I've already spent past lives in all those schools. This one, I just activate, and you're going to see it. You're going to I just activating them. So I wanted to explain that, and that's what's going on. Do you guys have any questions about that and how that works? Let me make sure no questions are being asked on here. Refresh. Just don't let anyone with anything in a RNA, DNA, like no one should be touching that, okay? Because just because they tell you something good is in it doesn't mean it is. Oh, Gemini says, hi, Lisa. So happy to see you live. Yeah, I'm going to watch from the beginning. Thank you in advance for your guidance. Thank you, Gemini. I think you'll like it. And you'll appreciate this, too. You get it. Mm-hmm. And I don't see any comments there. What's that? I have to manually check the Facebook because I had like 40 comments last time. Okay, we're good. So any questions from anybody? No? All right, I'm going to let you guys go. I have more videos coming. I'm just telling everyone I'm doing one on cryptocurrency. I've been super easy. I just basically combined my knowledge of real estate investing, wealth accumulation, stocks, gold and silver investing, which I've been investing in for 10 years, and applied it to the cryptocurrency the last 3 years, and super easy. Purchased some, and what we're seeing, and I've made over $100,000 in 3 years, right? And I'm going to do a live workshop going over it step by step. It's not hard. There's a lot of trash out there, a lot of do this, and you ain't got to do all that. Okay, you just got to understand how it works and how it's a combination of all of those. And once you understand those combinations, you can do it. So it's going to go across all channels. Even if this is a spiritual channel, I highly recommend it for you guys. That sounds like a big number, but it's going to be even bigger. And the reason I'm getting it out, I spent more time on this workshop and it's free than my paid stuff. But the reason I'm trying to get it out is that I can't let my people, Black and brown people, I can't let us be late again. We can't continue to be late. We can't continue to be late. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to lay it out one by one. This is how I made over $100,000 in cryptocurrency. Easy peasy. Do it. I don't care if you have $5 a week. Use that $5 a week on Cash App. And I'm going to show you what you're doing and how you're going to think about it. And so you don't do what everyone else do and lose your money. Easy to keep it and easy to make a lot in a few short years, just on auto record. So I'm going to be doing that. So expect it either tomorrow or Saturday. It depends. I put it all on like all the screenshots of everything on a PowerPoint slide. So I'll be doing that for you guys. So before I go, Give Hug says, how does one get access to my DNA? I can listen to the beginning if you mentioned it earlier. Well, right now, there's censorship. So I'm just going to say this. So say there were people who really wanted to inject into you something that contains messenger RNA, which is the messenger that tells everything what to do, how to go, and could possibly encode in structures to alter your genetic code. Now there's censorship. So what one subject is offering the most censorship, go to that. All right. You say anything about it, you get in trouble. And then what's in this one that they haven't used on a mass scale before for treating something, okay, an ailment. That is one way, and the nanotechnology that is included in there. So that's multiple ways in which your DNA can be altered. That's all I'm going to say because of censorship, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. You got it. And so most people do not know the information that is hidden within your DNA and how it's your power. It's all your past lives. When you were this, when you were that, all the things you've already accomplished, you can just activate if you know how to and if you wanted to. You're correct. Give hugs. So you wrote it. I didn't say it. That I'm discovering, and that they don't want you to discover, because then they can alter that, and you getting out of this matrix and extending is harder because you don't have anything within you that remembers the power that's within you. Okay? So then think of how hard your kids are going to have it. All those past lives of you gaining all those skills, gone. You have to start from zero. This is after thousands of years in your DNA, coded in your DNA. Okay? Think about what that junk DNA. Okay? That's what they call it. Don't think they don't call it that on purpose. Okay, so that is one way your DNA can be altered, and that's you voluntarily because you're not aware of how powerful it is, and they are, and they don't want you to be powerful. They want you to always be dependent on them, because then you're controllable. You're not like Lisa, who's like, I don't care what you do. I got a spiritual team. I know my power. I can manifest what I want. Don't try it. I know how to protect myself. Okay? So they're not, how I walk is different than how everyone else walks. You can't tell me to do anything. Oh, you think I can't do that? I'm going to manifest it. So, yeah, give hugs. Linger for years. You're going to pass it in your lineage. Your lineage is going to be different. My lineage is going to be strong. It's going to have all of their information, and I'm going to activate my family's information. Okay, they're going to be walking wizards by the time they're 8. But other people, I easily see them wiping it. I easily see you taking all of your genetic codes that you've created, and that is in that junk DNA, and just wiping it clean and taking you back to zero. And so you don't get to rely on any of those past lives, any of your ancestors who struggled and died and went along all these paths. All of it can easily be erased if you let people do it. So do not let anyone get anywhere close to encoding or giving programming to your DNA. It is not for your highest good. Okay? And so I wanted to do this because I didn't understand what DNA activations is. In the spiritual world, people talk about it. I just didn't know what they were talking about. And honestly, sometimes I don't think they know what they're talking about. But just working with my spirit team, I activated so many of my spiritual gifts and abilities and powers and ability to heal. You've done my healings. They're strong. They're powerful. That is from my past life being activated in this life, intentionally. And I would hate to be born in this matrix after this, in one of these bodies, without all those past lives. That was that inner thing inside me that helped me navigate my way through. You are correct. It will change and alter your bloodline. Your bloodline will be different than my bloodline. My bloodline will have access to more powers than your bloodline ever will if you let anyone alter or erase your DNA. Just 100%. It's all in there. Mine will be able to find their spiritual path and tap into it. Now, I'm me, so I'm going to, I'm activating my daughter already. So, you know what I mean? Like, just slowly. It's not like with the discipline I do, but she's going to be activated already. So all of her past life, which was mostly healing, so she's more of a loving person, so it's mostly healing, she's going to be a powerful healer, before the age of 13, because I know what's there now. And you can do the same for your kids if you wanted to. I mean, you have to do it for yourself first, see that it works, see the power of it, and do it. But all I want to say, don't let anything, no messenger, no nanobot, nothing get next to your DNA. It is not for your highest good. It is. You have everything you need already to abundantly succeed and do whatever you want. So I'm just going to end on that. The first part goes through the different past lives I had and the DNA activations we're doing now to do it. But I also think it's sort of cool that, like, I seriously have done every magical path that exists. I'm like, name a magical path. I've done it. I have a past life. It is in my genetics. From Norway to Egypt to Mayan, and I don't know where Merlin was in the Knights of the Round Table, but did it during that time too. That I've been activating. I work mainly. My ancestrals went through Mayan and Egyptian Merlin was just by itself, and the Norwegian one, the Norway, that I learned just by doing different, because I try different things just to see the power it has, because I know like, oh, that was quick, or oh, it took forever. I do experiments, like, okay, let me just throw this out and see what happens. And I'll do something really weird or something I'll know came from like my manifestations. And I remember I did some string stuff, because and then I found out when I was looking up cedar magic, SEIDR, which is like the magic of Norway, because I read those books on text. And they're talking about strings so heavily, and I was like, oh, and so that's not an activation per se I did, but the fact that it works so easily, and I know, and I got that vision I received of that past life, I know that it's in my remembrance. So when I energetically did it, it's already in me from that past life. That's why it worked so well. So there's going to be, and that's why, we're like, you have to see things that work with you, because that energy is already in you. And even if you don't actively activate it, you just doing the process will activate that aspect of it. So when they tell you to do things you enjoy and you're good at, it's also like, oh, you're bringing it out, you're bringing it out, you're bringing it out. Now it's expressed. So when I asked my spirit guides how much of my DNA has been activated, they said 60% now. If you watch my videos, it keeps going higher, especially when we had that big upgrade in December 21st. But, I'm very intentional about it. So yeah, that's what's going on. Watch from the beginning. Don't let anyone touch your DNA. That's what's in it. It's encoded. You guys are super powerful spiritual beings with huge past lives that have the ability to change your reality at the snap of a finger. You have gifts inside of you that you cultivated over years. Your ancestors did. Hold your DNA sacred and learn how to activate it. You don't have to do this work again. I don't have to spend 20 years with Merlin. I already did it. I work with Merlin every day now to like activate it, because I like magic and I like being super powerful. So I like manifesting whatever I want in my life. So I'll end with that. Don't forget the cryptocurrency one. Anything else we're doing? Oh, and I'm doing a live womb healing workshop starting this Monday. If you guys are interested, it's womb healing, it's womb cleansing. And I did another video talking about Black women in general, but like the ancestral trauma that we inherited is still in you, and that affects your relationships, and it affects your body, and it affects how triggered and how wounded you react to. So it also makes your sex life really good, so you should do it for that. So that's it for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. I just know I have to get this stuff out, and I love the fact that you guys are open and receptive to it. Like I said, if you're talking to me, I am a lot deeper than in my earlier videos, just because the awareness, the ascension is going very rapidly on my side, which I welcome. So you're going to get more truth than you've ever gotten before, but you need to know how powerful you are. You do. You need to know, and I want all of you guys to freely partake and understand that you can have the life you want. You don't have to complain. Things will be okay. Remember the cryptocurrency? I made over $100,000. I usually don't say how much money I have online, but I really want to show you so you know that like this is very possible. And I know I will have from that 100,000. If I did nothing else, I will have 1 million. I know I will. Okay, period. I know where this is going. And I asked my angels, I got this right? They're like, you got it right. So I got the go ahead. Like I got the strategy right that it's worked for me, that I'm going to show you super easy. You just have to understand how it's working together. Once you understand, which is one of my gifts, which is why I did the real estate investing platform really well, is because I can see the interconnections that other people can't. That's just a gift I have. And I'm here to use that gift to not only empower myself in happiness, but empower those who want to listen and learn from someone who has walked that path successfully. So, oh, good. I will be doing one on the spiritual attachment and what to do if it ever happens to you, which I hope it doesn't. But if it does, don't be scared. Also, the supernatural experiences, because I don't know, it just stuff makes me laugh, like all the supernatural experiences that happen. And I like telling stories. So I'm going to do that. Thank you for watching. Watch out for the crypto one. That'll be in the next 2 days. Please watch it. If you already got hundreds of thousands of dollars, don't watch it. But if you don't, you've been hearing about it, you have to get on right now, because it's about to explode. We know it's about to. You think this was an explosion? It's not. And so I need to get this out. You have to start investing right now. You can't be left behind again. You just can't. You can't. If you haven't done anything up to this point, You cannot be left behind. I'm going to show you exactly what to do. All right. Thank you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.